Okay.
All
Ready?
right. Ready? Okay, so this lesson, guys, you guys are in 2nd grade.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we begin by getting out our science notebooks. And who can tell me here? We're going to talk about buoyancy. Does anybody know what buoyancy means?
You're a
No.
boy.
Yeah.
Well, buoyancy is actually just pretty much a fancy word for float. Buoyancy is an object's ability to float in water. So let's do this. I want you guys in your notebooks, we're going to make our 3 columns. Remember, columns are up and down. At the top of the first one, we're going to put a K for our no. Can anybody tell me what they know about what makes something float or an object that floats?
Has to be really light.
Yeah, it has to be light. So light as in light in color, or are we talking light in
No,
texture, how it
like
feels?
a feather.
Like a feather? So you're talking like how much something weighs?
Yes.
So it
Yes.
has to
But a boat floats, and that's heavy.
that is
Oh, I
true.
guess.
So it
Are we in
depends
2nd grade?
on
Yeah.
as to we should just do. So you're saying that it cannot weigh a lot? It cannot be heavy? Is that what
That's
you're
what I
saying?
thought, but she said a boat floats,
But a boat floats.
and boats are heavy.
So, would that be a good thing for us to put in what we want to learn? Is how
Yeah.
why would how does something as heavy as a boat float?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? What are some things that we know that float?
Rafts.
Rafts,
A duck.
duck.
Churches. Very small
I was waiting for it. I know I wanted to.
I know. So glad you said that.
A raft. Okay. So, what are some things that we can things that sink?
Rocks.
Rocks.
Rocks. So why do you think a raft floats but a rock sinks?
Maybe because the rock is like solid all the way through.
Okay, so do you think that in order for something to float, it cannot be solid all the way through?
Maybe boats aren't solid, so that
Yeah.
might work.
So
Container ships that transport heavy loads use especially long and wide hull construction to increase the maximum amount of point force.
there should be some space for air.
Yeah.
If the ship's load is too heavy, it will sink.
All right. We'll finish that one later. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start by making some predictions. Do you guys remember what a prediction is?
You're making a guess about something?
We're making a judgment based off of what we observe and what we know. So, what is this, boys and girls?
Cork.
Yes, it's a cork. What do we know about the cork? Does anybody want to touch it, feel it? What do we know about the cork?
It's light.
It's light.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. Do you guys, who thinks it's going to sink? Any of you think it's going to sink?
It feels pretty light. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But I think it might be solid all the way through, so
Oh.
maybe
Mm-hmm.
it'll sink.
I saw a hole in it.
I'd have to
There's
have
a
like
hole in it.
the board, but. So what does it mean if this floats? What does it mean? What does that mean? Is it where in the bin is it going to be?
It's gonna be. If it floats, it'll be on
Yes.
top of the water.
Oh.
It'll be on top of the water, and so if it sinks, where will it be?
Bottom.
So we can say that those are pretty opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who thinks the cork is going to float? All right. Let's test out our prediction here.
It
Floats.
floats.
It floats. All right. Let's try something else. What's this?
Lemon.
Yeah, lemon. What is a lemon?
Fruit.
Fruit. So, it's pretty different from a cork, right?
Yes.
Do you think that this will sink or float?
Sink.
Sink? You know what do you think?
Sink.
Float.
Yeah. Just be the
It
double
looks like a
deck.
ball, and balls float.
Oh, so you think that the shape has to do with it?
I don't know, maybe.
All right. Okay, let's see.
It floats. Kind of. It does float.
It is floating. Did did that surprise anyone? It looks like we had 2-1. What? I mean, what do you guys think?
I thought it was gonna float, so I was right.
Why do you think the lemon float? Why do you think it floated? Want to take a look at it? Why do you think it floated?
Because it's shaped like a ball.
It's shaped like a ball.
Sticking with it.
All
There's
right.
space for air in the lemon.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's a really, really great observation. Did everybody hear Anna? That there's space in here for air. You're making us do this.
We're being good second graders.
Yeah. We are. Oh, yeah, they love it. Love it. All right, so what's this?
Lemon.
Wait, look at it.
Peeled.
Peeled, right? That's the big difference here. There's no peel. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think that the peeled lemon will sink or float?
Float.
Did it die?
Okay, Anna thinks it's going to float. What do you think? Alyssa, Steph, sink or float?
Float.
Sink.
Sink then float. Okay, that's different answers. It's gonna float.
They're doing the
Sink.
All right.
Sink and then float. You guys can stand up so you guys can.
This bird's still kind of like on it.
I forgot what I answered.
float.
Okay, thanks.
So it did sink, right? And you didn't fall into that So that's allowed to sink where bounces on the water.
Still have lots of peel on it.
The level of the water.
It should sink.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I have to realize
Because water can get in there?
because there's a lot of peel still on it. For the record.
Oh, it's on.
Oh, it's all the way on the bottom.
So did it sink or float?
Sinks.
it sinks.
Oh my gosh. Did that surprise anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why did you think it would float? Why do you think it would
Because it's
float?
the same shape as the lemon with the peel.
All right, so
What do you think is gonna happen? When,
But
Do you
the
think
peel's
that-
keeping the water out, though.
so the
Can't the water get in now?
Why
that's a good observation, and perhaps the water can get in. Let's take it a step further here. What about the actual peels of the lemon? Do you think they're going to sink or float?
do you think water's
Float.
gonna go into the orange itself?
Float.
Float.
They float. Does anyone here know what a life jacket is? Or when you go swimming, you have like an inner tube or water wings?
Yeah.
So the peel for the lemon is like a life jacket or an inner tube for us. I'll pass these around and you can see. Anna was getting at something when she said that there's air. You can see the little dots, or kind of like the little holes in the peel, lemon peel. Those pores are like little pockets of air. And that's what helps, and the waxy outer coating keeps the water from going inside. So
Right, Anna.
I didn't know that there were little pockets of it. I didn't know.
yeah.
And
I think like customer said, you know, water.
All right.
Whoa. Got a sassy one over here.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to get into our science groups. We're gonna get our science notebooks out, and we're going to make a T-chart like we have up here, with one side that says sink and the other says float. And you're gonna see that you're gonna have some items. Before you put any of these items in the water, I want you to make some predictions. I want you to look at your objects and make some observations. How do they look? How do they feel? Are they heavy? Are they light? Are they round? And I want you to want to label in your charts your predictions, if it's going to sink or if it's going to float. And then you're going to test out your predictions with this experiment by putting them in the water, and you're going to take note of what you see. So you're going to observe what's going on. So here are your materials. We've got a pumice stone, a penny, a dry sponge, a metal paper clip, and a stone. So have at it. You observe, look at the materials here. You can have some to look at. Look at the two stones. You can So basically, yeah, I'd be like. So yeah, what do you notice about the stone, Stephanie?
Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. What makes you think it? Why do you say it's heavy? What do you observe about it?
It's shiny.
It's shiny. Does that make it heavy?
Oh, no.
This water bottle's shiny. It's not as heavy as a stone.
Take it away.
It's smooth. So I don't
smooth.
think any air can get in there.
When something's heavy, is it harder to pick up than, say, the sponge?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you feel that it's heavier. So you think it's going to sink? Why don't you test that out then? So you have that rock in the sink. Oh!
Yep.
What happened?
It's
Sunk. It's not buoyant.
All right.
Ew.
You have a pumice stone. So
It's got holes for air like the lemon did.
So what do you think? What do you think's going to happen?
So maybe it'll float.
And why do you think it'll float? Because of the holes in it?
Because there's holes in it for air, and it doesn't feel very heavy.
Doesn't feel so heavy? Okay, give it a go. Isn't that weird? A stone that floats? Does anybody know what a pumice stone is?
Scrub your feet.
Yeah. It's get dirty. It's get that nasty skin off of your feet.
That was new. Dirty foot pumice.
It's basically sandpaper for your feet, boys and girls. Okay. So the paperclip, Anna. There's not a
like
lot of
metal.
it. Yeah, it's metal.
Yeah, but it's light, but it's metal. So it's more like the rock than it is like anything else. So it's gonna sink.
So the rock, yeah. Oh, okay. So it's so it's
going rogue.
when you're talking about how it's solid. What makes it more solid than the pumice stone?
There's no air holes.
No air holes. So we're saying that throughout, it can't be solid throughout.
Right.
Is that one of what we kind of know about things that float? And then last but not least, the penny. It's pretty small. It's flat like a raft.
Yeah, but in fountains you throw them in and they sink.
Very good. Engaging that background knowledge. There we go. It sinks. So, what are some of the things that we learned about things that float?
They can be different shapes.
It can be different shapes. What else?
The weight doesn't really matter.
The weight does not matter.
Like the lemon was heavier than the penny, but the lemon floats.
Okay. I really like that observation that you made, comparing the penny to the lemon. Lemon is heavier. So the weight in this case doesn't matter. What about a big salad? I'm killing it right
get
now.
through it.
I know you're loving it.
Yep.
So, constructive feedback. What are some other things? I haven't heard from you, Steph. What about the pumice stone?
The holes.
Oh, okay, so air pockets maybe? Air pockets out? Kinda like what the, so when we think about a boat, you're saying that it's not solid all the way throughout, so you have some space in here?
Mm-hmm.
So that's maybe why it's buoyant. But what about a submarine? A submarine, if you don't know, boys and girls, is a ship that can both float and sink down to the bottom.
It's tricky.
And there is plenty of air inside there because there are people on that ship, believe it or not, yes. So we'll talk about that a little more next time. We're gonna do another experiment with the Cartesian diver. But yes, you guys are, we're on the right track, so just cut it.